And we're back for game number 2 of this best of 3. Invictus Gaming taking on Zenith in a win and go to LAN. And I actually didn't talk a lot about this during the intro just because I guess I assumed it was common knowledge. But both of these teams are undefeated so far here in Phase 3. They are number 1 and number 2 are actually both tied for number 1 in the group right now. Whoever wins is just done. They just move on. They just flat out punch their ticket to the live LAN finals. Whoever loses certainly has their chance to play their way in throughout the playoff stage of Phase 3. But a lot on the line here for both of these teams, and Zenith gonna have to get it together real quick. They trail 0-1 to Invictus Gaming. IG really just put it together really well early on in game 1. There were some mistakes on the side of Zenith. Puppy and I talked about that. Of course, I am joined by Puppy for those who are just joining the broadcast. But yeah, man, it's like IG played well, but there are a number of things we can point to from Zenith. In particular, a couple of clutch mistakes in terms of strategy and in terms of just individual plays made early on, and it made it real hard for them to recover in the mid-game.
Yes, Zenith need to pick themselves up and shape up because they had a lineup that they probably trusted themselves to win with. Definitely they wanted to win with this lineup much more than anything else. So, as you can see, they're just thinking about their bans, or Ice is just AFK. We all know that that could be happening, 50-50. But let's say that he's thinking, because... Or is Faith actually thinking? So Faith's AFK. Damn it. Or no, wait. Who has the first pick?
Zenith. Zenith's got first ban here.
Then I was right the first time. Anyway, they need to shape up because they could have done so much things with their heroes, but they just did not because they were scared of IG. Maybe they were. Maybe they were not. Maybe it's the stand-in making them play a little bit weird. I'm actually... I don't know why this is taking so much time for them to ban, but I guess they're just using their time, you know, talking about making fun of, I don't know, Zhao's girlfriend or whatever they do. They like that holiday. That's why Zhao hates, you know, YOYF sometimes, and they have drama. You know, the regular people.
The standard stuff.
As you can see, nothing got banned.
Yep, finally. Oh, wow. Okay.
Are you sure? Are you sure? I think nothing got banned right now.
Nah, yeah, I'm seeing nothing as well. It jumped to Invictus, and Invictus banned Darkseer. They didn't run out of time, though. I don't think they did they? I was watching the timer.
No, not IG, but Zenith, yeah. Zenith ran out of time, and they did not get a single ban. Like, this is just Ice being AFK, I think. Or he does not care. It's mind play.
Let me throw this back. Now, this is a reach, but a long time ago. When I say a long time ago, I'm talking prior to the International 2. I'm almost positive Zenith did this on purpose once. I'm almost positive that they actually just didn't ban anything because they wanted to open up the draft. That might be what they're doing right now.
Well, it is a good strategy if you don't have a strategy. That's pretty much it.
Well, there you go. That's a nice way to put it. No, no ban. And they do go ahead and take the Life Stealers. So we've got a Bad Rider.
They give away Magnus.
They
don't have a plan.
That's scary. And obviously Ice still there. Bad Rider Magnus, I don't even, man. Like, and again, it's as soon as after we saw the second one go by, I mean, Ice would have been back in the room. But yeah, Zenith did this a long time ago. They did it before the International 2 in some tournament. In fact, I want to say it was in Monthly Madness Asia for its Gosu. They did it once. And Team DK did it once back then, too. But they're going to be able to get their Life Stealer, their Shadow Demon, and now they're going to add a Juggernaut. Pretty sure they didn't have to not ban anyone and give away a Bat and a Magnus if they wanted those 3 heroes, though.
Well, you know, if they play well enough and they believe in this, they might end up winning, because in the end, if you can make a game look like this, that the Magnetar is bothered, he cannot ultimate, and the Lifestealer is jumping the Batrider, and the Batrider is on the farm, everything will go your way. But it's going to be a hard game for them, because I don't really see IG losing with a Batrider, let alone Magnus.
What I want to know is how they're going to lane this. Lifestealer Shadow Demon is the beginning of a very powerful offensive try and lane. You can make that work with Juggernaut as well, especially if he's able to get up an early set of Tier 1 boots. Magnus and Bat tend to want their solo lanes. Bat can jungle if he needs to be, but we've been seeing Magnus run more and more just as a lane support. I don't feel like that's really the most effective way to run the hero. Tends to really delay his development, holds down your RP, holds down even getting extra levels into Empower just because you are under-leveled in the early stages and it takes you longer to max your Shockwave and your Skewer. Not to say anything about delaying your Blink Dagger and Arc Boots, but, I mean, Already, Invictus Gaming just seems to have their options wide open to them. I would imagine Zenith is going to look to get some kind of high-tier support to go with Shadow Demon next, a Lesh, Alina, something along those lines, maybe even a Rubik.
Rubik seems like a fine pickup. They might be thinking of the Lone Druid right now, either to pick it up or not, because Lone Druid is one of the best carries, but he's also a very simple hard laner for IG. Not really a tri laner, but a hard laner. And in this case, yeah, they're just going to pick it up. Because most of the time when Zhao plays, well, IG knows this. They know that it's very easy for Sentinel Lone Druid, much more easier than for Dire, because for Sentinel Lone Druid, he can do so many pulls, and you know it's not going to be that hard for him to do so. While, as you can see, if you go from the Dire side to the hard lane, it's very easy to kill you, it's very easy to gank you, and there are so many creep spawns that you can intercept with the creeps that he's pulling.
Right.
While in the Sentinel side or the Radiant side, it's not really that it's not really that hard to play Lone Druid, because you can always go through the creep spawns without them getting to intercept them. But it's always hard for Dire. But they still pick it up, you know, because they know they just have this hero with Magnetards. Imba.
Not going to have another ban, by the way. Well, not another one out of Zenith. There needs to be just a no ban button so we don't have to sit and wait through the pick time, but Zenith apparently says, you know what? We are not exclusionary. We are diverse. We are multicultural. We do not endorse prejudice. Therefore, everyone is allowed according to us. Invictus Gaming, not quite so forward-thinking. Leshrac, one of those heroes that works extremely well with the Shadow Demon, and especially in conjunction with a hero like a Lifestealer, he's going to be taken out. Would imagine, I honestly, if I'm IG right now, I just ban Lesh, Lina, and the Rubik, just be done with it.
I would ban Bloodseeker.
Well, obviously. By the way, it did crack me up. During in between game breaks, I'll get jumping into the lobby for the next game, but I tend to spend a lot of time talking with the chat and all of that, and then out of nowhere, all of a sudden, 2 or 3 people all ask us, did Puppy just ask about Bloodseeker? And I go and check, and sure enough, you said it was time for Bloodseekers. So obviously, we know where your mind is at the moment.
Well, as you can see, Zenith needs to do a real move right now, ban the Bloodseeker, because as you can see, it's going to be a Lone Druid Bear that's going to have 80% damage plus 50% damage from the Magnetar. You don't want to play against that. And the silence against Lifestealer, woo! That's too much, man.
Exactly. Get the Doom pick as a Doom Lifestealer. I've actually seen that work remarkably well a few times. But anyway, Chen the ban out from Invictus. We'll get to watch the countdown once again as Zenith forgoes any exclusionary activity in the second ban phase. I want to thank everyone once again for joining us. Game 2 of this best of 3 on the way. Invictus Gaming leads 1-0, 1 win away from punching their ticket to the live land finals. Yep, they're going to go ahead and take out the Lina. Rubik's still available if Zenith wants him, though.
Bloodseeker.
Just for you. I hope they do it. I hope Ice is just like, you know what? Just for Puppy.
There's no reason to. It's going to be such a shit pick.
It'll be awful. Well, hey, you want to know a funny stat? This is no joke. Bloodseeker has been picked more than once in the D2L. And do you know what his win percentage is? 100%. 100%. He has not lost a game in the D2L. Not once. Queen of Pain going to be the pickup from Zenith.
Well, I don't know. It's just, it's one of those situations where you know something, but you don't really know it. It's 100% chance to win, but I'm not really sure if he's that good of a hero to pick, because, I mean, I wouldn't give the strategy away right now. I would leave it to Grand Finals so I can suck out in 8 minutes and then, leave the building and cry.
Exactly. Exactly. I'll tell you what.
Because I saw the 100%,
Exactly. It's simple math, man. If he's been played twice and he's won 100% of each game, that's 200%. Basically, if you win one game, you win a best of 3. That's how my math works out anyway. Bane going to be the pickup from Zenith as we continue to troll ourselves. I'll tell you one thing that Bloodseeker does well, and one of the games, admittedly, I'm trying to think if he got a first blood in any of those games. I don't think he did, but I'll tell you who hates a Bloodseeker is a freaking Weaver, man. Weaver is hard countered freaking hard by a Bloodseeker.
True, man. It's true.
That's what we saw.
It's not like blood.
It was Mouse versus, who were they playing? Black was on Weaver, I remember that. I can't remember who they were playing. I think it was maybe No Tide? I want to say it was No Tide Hunter, and they ran him off lane. It was Bulldog on him or something like that. But yeah.
I do not know that game.
But anyway, all right, Puppy, let's look at what Zenith's got for us. They've got their 2 lane supports in their Shadow Demon and Bane. Lifestealer, one would think, could either solo the safe lane if he wants. I mean, when you see a Druid, I would assume. I don't know, though. I mean, when you look at IG, how are they going to... Yeah, they're going to go ahead and pick up a Tinker. I mean, IG's lineup's got some interesting lane potential here. They could end up... I honestly don't know, really. Like, they have so many heroes that want a solo lane in most circumstances, it's kind of hard to predict. Zenith a little bit more clear-cut.
Well, I think IG have stepped over some boundaries right now. I think they might end up even losing some lanes because of the distribution that they have. They have IG YYF on the Magnetar. We know that the Laundry is going to go... I'm not really sure, because this might be a tri-lane on easy lane for IG, and the Lone Droid will still go on hard lane. So let's see what they do, because they cannot let Fat Rider go into the woods. That's definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like you, man. Like, I look at the lanes, and I mean, they can make it work one way or the other, but just in terms of heroes having a nice clean-cut presence, you know, as in where can they go? And speaking of clean-cut, Juggernaut wearing his sexy mask, going to look to get a clean cut here, going for a first blood along with his teammates. They're smoked up. I was just going to say, the only thing I feel really confident about is that Zenith is going to want to offensively tri-lane this, especially looking at the picks of IG. I can't imagine any tri-lane they put out, unless they just flat-out skill difference Zenith, any tri-lane they put out against an offensive tri-lane of Bane, Shadow Demon, and it doesn't matter if it's Jug or Lifestealer, that should be a win for Zenith. And Zenith looking to make it even more of an advantage for them if they can get a first blood. Not going to find anyone so far. Faith will...
He's going to get away, I think.
Making his way up to the steps, and yep, turns around immediately.
They should have known that this is... They should have tried to intercept them under the tower even or something like that, because it would be well worth it to find them. But they didn't really want to check through the woods. So yeah, no kill.
We got Zoe and Schwan currently up at top. We've got Faith and Ferrari now, both hanging around mid. Faith, one would think, is going to wind up in the jungle.
He will. He will.
Yeah, this should be a pretty big win for Zenith, really. I mean, there's no way that Schwan and Zoe, or Zhou, I guess is the more correct way to pronounce it.
We're not sure, man. Whenever I say Zhou or Zhao or whatever, he says Zoe or something like that, and I don't get it. Just don't.
Same thing happens to me, man. The viewers are like, hey, you should pronounce it like it has a J. My uncultured American tongue does not like that. But I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. I've just called him Zoe for so long. Even if I call him by a different name in the lane phase, when it gets into the action, I'll call him Zoe. So may as well, if I'm going to be wrong, I'll at least be consistent in being wrong. Down at bottom, we're going to have YYF up against NWP. NWP on our Queen of Pain versus the Mag of YYF in mid. Another solo matchup. Ice 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 actually going up against Ferrari, who's going to be on our Tinker. Ice 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 handling the Juggernaut. Our tri-lanes, Try on Try, Bad Rider, doing his thing in the jungle. He's played by Faith on the side of Invictus Gaming. Freedom's there on our Bane, hunting around, looking for him. Ice going to be playing on our Shadow Demon with Miracle, the stand-in, who, by the way, I wanted to say this during the draft and we got distracted just talking about Bloodseeker picks, is I feel like Miracle actually played a better game of Dota in Game 1 than most of Zenith did. And that's not to say anything awful about Zenith in particular. I just feel like Miracle, to be in a stand-in position, played a really good game.
Well, I wouldn't say much, but I think the supports played also very well in Zenith that game. They did their ganks, and they did everything they could.
Zoe and Schwan under assault here. Miracle, at least for the moment, getting all the farm he could possibly want. Druid's hanging in there, using his range, using the bear, so currently going toe-to-toe. And Ice 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 taking a bit of damage here in mid. He's got 1 point in the Blade Fury, 1 into his healing ward. Should be able to hang in here at least for a bit, but Ferrari with his bottle up already. Ice 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 does have to be careful. He's out of regen, at least for the moment. Going to imagine he's got a bottle on the way, and he does. So we'll be getting there probably about the time that Tinkers does.
Well, he's going to get the Invis rune because the Shadow Demon's there. Oh no, it's a Bane Elemental. And he's Invis, and Ferrari knows about this, so he's not probably going to die.
Right back up under his tower. Freedom. Hitting the handy-dandy H button, hold position. just behind the flag of Invictus Gaming here in mid. Ice, ice, ice. Full mana pull. Oh, Freedom. Twice he wound up for it. He is just on the outside. There's the Courier. And there we go. There's the Nightmare. Caught him coming out just a bit too far. Some right clicks. Now going to go ahead and use the Blade Fury. Brain Sap as Freedom. I'll tell you what was so smart about that. Freedom just got a point into. He's level 3 now. Just got a point, and he actually died to the tower. But
did you see the attempted block by Bane Elemental?
Yeah. But the Faith now rotating over. But he actually didn't have a point into Brain Sap whenever he rotated to mid. So getting it in and sealing the deal. First Blood ends up going the way of Zenith. And IG, though, gets the return kill courtesy of the tower.
First Blood's the first Blood. I think the Juggernaut was losing hardcore before the Bane Elemental even came there, so it's good for him.
Up at top, Zoe sitting at 11 last hits, 13 for Miracle. So going toe-to-toe, and this is actually, I feel like this is a pretty good win for IG, actually. I feel like they should be under a lot more assault here, and granted, Bane did make his way down to mid. And now, yeah, we're just going to see Ice, Ice, Ice just go right on in and steal a couple of creeps from Faith. That's mighty frustrating if you're a jungling Bad Rider. Do not want to lose those big creeps this early on.
Well, the good thing about everything for Zenith right now is the Queen of Pain, and I see him already going for the fast transition to an Orchid. And if he starts being very, very strong early game, I think they can actually pull this through.
Ice, Ice, Ice taking a lot of harassment for the moment. We can see the wards down, keeping an eye on things near this top lane. Currently, it's just 2-on-2. Bane has not been back in lane for quite some time now. Ice showing his face over here at the pool camp. Meantime, Miracle continues to go toe-to-toe with Zoe. But Zoe, again, I mean, it's 14 to 15. He's getting his farm. I mean, it's not the most amazing farm in history, but given the assault he's under, now they want to change it. We're going to have open wounds on Zoe. Bear's there. Recalled. Let's see if it's going to be enough. He's down to about half health. And Zenith there en masse. He's trying to eat his way through. Finds his way into the back. Bear's going to be recalled. Brain Sap not quite enough. And Zoe making his way over and down. Back. He's going to try to make it to the river. They can't catch the Lone Druid. The Bear's there finally. An open wound should be enough. They chased him from right here to right here. That's a long way to roll.
Well, it was the Shadow Demon's fault that he got that far, but you know, it was still nice moves from Zhao. It wasn't expected that he would eat like 2 tangles there, or maybe even 3 to get away from there. And he could have actually gotten away maybe if he would have ran straight to the shop. Used what's it called? He bought a TP scroll on the base, but he still had much more gold for buying another one. Another TP scroll. He would have blocked himself off with the bear if he could have done that. Admiral Bulldog would have. He's a crazy man. He does those things.
And Zenith losing, or managing to take down, I should say, the tier 1 top, and that tri-lane working out quite well for them, getting the gank off. Chuan going to go ahead, take some damage from Queen of Pain, does a little bit back as he's made his way down here with YYF. YYF doesn't have a set of boots up yet, so he is not in the best of shape. Only 11 last hits to the 32 of Queen of Pain. So Yamate has had a fantastic start thus far. We're starting to see a little bit of movement being made down towards bottom. Ferrari will find himself a double damage rune, at least for now. And we'll keep an eye on what MWP wants to build here. I agree with you, though. Quick Orchid makes a ton of sense. And now with that tower down, Zoe should at least feel a little bit more comfortable trying to take some farm. Is Zenith at the very least going to end up exposing themselves a bit more if they decide to hang and try to zone him off of the creep wave?
Well, for now, a Queen of Pain and an Axe, you know what these heroes do. They end up steamrolling at some point of the game, and I don't see the Bat Rider getting farm. I don't see the Magnetar really getting much out of this. I see Rubik being level 3 and being level 3 for a long time, I think. He's going to get level 5, but his 6 is very far from this game. So if the Queen of Pain makes ball will start very soon, it's going to be very hard for IG to retaliate.
Taking a look at Zoe. 17 last hits. Lifestealer has opened up quite a gap now, taking jungle farm and lane farm where he can. Miracle's already got his phase boots up, likely to follow that up with the standard builds we've been seeing more and more, something like drums. Armlet if he really wants to. Bad Rider will eat a Nightmare here in the woods. Let's see if they're going to be able to react in time.
It's too long.
And
wow.
I just heard Omni Slash go off, and yeah, Ice is just going for it, man. He may get Ferrari.
Die.
No. TP reaction going to come in. Ferrari has laser ready, bottling back up, and now going to have a return kill, actually, as Bane ends up dropping. And Ice still being pursued. He's got 3 stacks on him. He's got 8 seconds until he has Blade Fury, but not even going to have to use it as IG. Not to pursue, bottom lane. There's a disruption on the Magnus. Yamate is there. Good scream. Skewer. Nope. Not going to be enough. Blinks there. A couple stacked Shadow Poison, 1 auto attack. Queen of Pain adds a kill to her total. Very, very good game so far for Yamate.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, Chuan. You found the dude with the dragons. He's like, no, don't kill me.
No.
You fight the dragons.
Yeah. And Chuan forced back up to the high ground now. Starting to see more movement here. Faith going to spot out Ice up in the Dire side jungle. Take a look at Ferrari. He's not far from bots. Uses March of the Machines before being nightmared. Zoe is level 6 now, coming up on level 7. The bear, pretty barren in terms of items. We'll take a look at our early GPM. Not something I usually look at that much, but looking at the Queen of Pain, her and Tinker right on par. And yeah, I was going to say the reason I'm looking this time is I feel like the Lone Druid, even though he seems to be at least marginally in range with last hits, he's just being almost doubled up by the better farmers on the board right now. Not the position you want to be in, and you don't want Zoe dropping like this. He's going to try to TP away and should be able to make it as there's no stun to knock him out of it, so no soup for you, Zenith.
Well, it's not like Juggernaut was farming anyway, so making this teleport happen, he knows that 60 seconds, this Lone Druid cannot stay on a lane anymore. So it's good for Zenith.
Chuan has his wand, his tier 1. It's not a whole lot to report. We got 5 kills on the board in a 9-minute game. 3 of them belong to Zenith. And just heard a disruption somewhere. There it is. Magnus spotted out by Ice, but no follow-up to speak of. Now have a 2-on-2 going in mid. There's going to be a quick pause, so once again, take this opportunity to thank you guys for joining us here on One More Game TV 2, the G1 Champions League Asia Qualifier Phase 3. And this is the last of our, I guess you could call it regular season, or our regular group stage matches. There we go. That's the way to put it. The winner of this will advance to the Live Land Finals. We do have a few more matches coming up, though. Going to be off tomorrow. But starting on the 9th, that's going to be a big day for me, by the way. Starting on the 9th and 10th, not only do we have the final remaining matches, the playoffs of Phase 3, if you will, but on the 9th and 10th, the D2L playoffs happening as well. So I'm going to be starting my day at 4 in the morning and probably not going to bed until midnight because we got so much Dota to broadcast. And Puppy, as always, well, I shouldn't say as always, Puppy, as I'm very fortunate to have you back on the broadcast, man. Hope to have you back for some of those matches as well.
Sure, man. Sure, man. If I ever find time. Like now.
Exactly. I love it. And the fans absolutely adore it, man. Love hearing your insights. Love hearing all that you can analyze away from the game. And speaking of, how about 9.5 minutes in? We are going to have a go mark here from Chuan. But despite that, pretty even-looking game so far. Which team would you give the edge to at this moment?
I'm giving the edge to Zenith. But one fight can turn the whole game apart. In the end, I still believe in Yamate because he's having such a good time, and I believe that he will jump in and he will silence a Magnetar and he will kill everybody else. That's what I think that they're relying on because yes, the Magnetar is a strong hero, but he's not really farmed up. And as far as this game can go, this BKB Orchid Queen of Pain can actually mow down heroes solo. He doesn't need anybody's help.
That's a dead Bane. They're actually going to spin the RP to get that.
Not that dead.
Yeah, Brainsap going to keep him up and finding he nightmares Rubik, and that's going to be enough to buy him some time. And now, the disruption in poor Chuan, left hanging by the Magnus, but the kill stolen by the neutral, the Hellbear Smasher, using the clap, saying, my kill. He wants his gold, he wants his items, and yeah, that was actually remarkable how long Bane was able to survive there and allow that turnaround. Wand charges and Brainsap, pretty strong.
Well, there's a reason why Bane is a pick right now, and the reason is that he is he's one of those support heroes that has the same amount of strength, has the same amount he has agility, the same amount he has intelligence. That's why he's so tanky, and he has a brain set. Heroes don't have that. Look at bottom lane once again. 3 heroes here sitting. Disruption
on the Magnus. We got 3 behind the tower, only 2 on the side of Zenith. Doesn't look like they're interested in coming back out. At least not for the moment. 11 minutes in, Zenith with 4 kills. It looks like it's going to be Armlet, actually. And, you know, I mentioned that this was a possibility, going straight up phase Armlet. I expected the Armlet to come out. I mean, and you know, this is pretty cookie cutter. It's not like it's something brand new or anything. But for the most part, we've been seeing a lot of phase drums and then something like an Armlet or even just a flat-out tanky item coming out on a lot of lifestealers. This is kind of a more standard approach.
Yeah, it is a more standard approach, but I don't think he has time to get drums. And he doesn't necessarily need it. He just needs to deal a lot of damage. Because the heroes of IG, they have to be in front of the Nakes to do something. Batrider, Magnetar, you know, Lone Druid, these heroes need to be in front of him to do something. So he just doesn't need to run after them in this case. While in most cases it might be having to run after them. Because if you would look at Zenith's lineup, and if you put an IG with Nakes, I think IG has to get drums on that hero, definitely. Because I don't see him catching up to the Queen of Pain, Bane Elemental, or Juggernaut. Okay, YYF.
Skewering himself. Yep, gets himself back to safety. Now up top, we're going to have a battle. Faith's going to be caught out. That's a Fiend's Grip, securing that kill. Ice going to end up dropping as well on the other side. And Freedom, actually, did he have... Yes, he had Fiend's Grip stolen. So Chuan able to get... No, he didn't. Never mind, it was Nightmare. So Chuan managed to get Nightmare. Not a bad spell to have. Not quite as good as Fiend's Grip. Either way, they end up going 1-for-1 in the jungle. And now they're going to re-engage. Here comes Ice. Sonic Wave's going to be there. Chuan's in trouble. He's cleaned up following the Sonic Wave. And March of the Machines doing some decent damage. Shockwave enough to clean up the Juggernaut, though. So another 1-for-1 exchange. He actually traded the Juggernaut for the Rubik that time.
Well, the Juggernaut is a clear support in this game, to be honest. He's not the carry. He's just there to mess with your brain that he is a carry. Because it is all about the Nakes and Queen of Pain this game.
IG looks to have had enough. Now beginning to run together. They're looking for a Bane. He's not going to have a lasso for another 30 seconds. Misses on the flame break, trying to knock him backwards, but got it just a step or two out in front of him. Taking a look at the heroes of Zenith. Where's our Queen of Pain? Where you at, girlie? Yep, I was going to say, just about time for that Orchid to be done, and it is complete, 13.5 minutes in. And at this point, this is one of those games where you don't want to put it all on one player, but given the start Yamate had, given that IG is keeping it close in other regards, lots going to depend on his ability to execute and perform right now.
Well, for now, Zenith really need to utilize their smoke ganks, because any smoke gank and next to the Queen of Pain is a free kill, guaranteed, because the silence will stop anything from happening. Yes, there would be a situation where I don't know, YYF could skewer out, or Rubik can use telekinesis on the Queen of Pain, but this time it's going to be a silence. But instead they're a little bit of farming. I guess they want to push down towers. They want to push down bottom tower and mid tower, and they're soon going to do it. They're just waiting for it. They're waiting for the transition to happen.
Only one tower gone off the board. It is one that belonged to Invictus Gaming. Tier 1 top dropped very, very soon. Zoe has just gone back to work farming. He's got his Tranquil Boots as well as Phase on the Bear. And he's got a Glove of Haste. We'll see what he wants to make out of that. One would think it could be something like a Maelstrom. Not saying, you know, could just be what we've been seeing over and over again, which is the Armlet Maelstrom build. But we'll have to wait and see for now. March of the Machines enough to ward off Zenith, at least for the moment, off of this Tier 2 bottom.
The smoke gank is started. A double teleport top. Very smart move. Let's see how it works out.
Freedom leading the charge.
And Ice is making it seem like they want to go middle. And they are actually going to go middle, so there's going to be many kills at the same time.
They're going to be able to clean up the Magnus now. Zoe going to be locked down with the Fiend's Grip. And this just looks like a totally different Zenith team. They're executing so much better. Ice now in a little bit of trouble, though, being pursued out. Faith is there. He's got a lasso. If he can catch him, Sonic Wave. Caught at least 2. Didn't see if it got the Rubik. I think it did, yeah. So
yeah, it got 3 of them.
Beautiful Sonic Wave from Yamate. Allows them to not only take the kills without any payback, they take a Tier 1 as their prize as well. Very well played. And yeah, I mean, Miracle's now on his Armlet. He's already laying into the Tier 2 top. He's got it down to half health. And this is the Zenith that I think we're all used to seeing. This is the Zenith that's been so dominant. Now the open wound's going to be on YYF. And spins the RP. Let's see if they can do anything with it. YYF will end up dropping. There's a disruption on Ferrari. He comes back out. Now the Purge. And Ferrari can't go anywhere. The TP canceled. They get 2 more kills, make it 10-4. They're going to lose a Tier 2 top as well. Fantastic play so far out of Zenith.
Yeah, I knew that this mistake was going to happen if they're going to put Batrider on the Woods, because this is how the game transitions. I've seen many games from IG, I've played many games also, but mostly I've always seen it that if they do something passive, you're not going to win in China Dota. You just are not. Chungus Rage, very important spell for him.
And Miracle being pursued now by Zoe and Chuan. Chuan, as you mentioned, managed to take race. Here we go. Bad Rider takes to the air. Ice is there with Miracle. We're going to see the Infest, now the Phase. Nice way to get your buddy out of trouble. He actually turns around here. And, yeah, he's going to show himself. He's just going to go for it. Says to hell with it. YOLO. He is going to be rooted down, though. He's got the infested Lifestealer who burst out. Faith going to be cleaned up after the lasso. They're just going to be able to at least get one. Ice is going to be rooted down, so they should be able to get that kill. Here comes Tinker, though, teleporting in. Ferrari going to land, be ready to fight. Miracle rooted down this time, so maybe a little bit of over-aggression. And here comes a pissed-off Magnetar charging out of the river. And Miracle still being pursued by the bear, but not a whole lot can be done, as no one else is behind him, and he was enfeebled to begin with. So IG getting a little bit of counter damage done. This tier 1 bottom is going to be denied by the bat, actually. He was silenced out. Now Ferrari going to miss with his rockets, but they bring down the tower, but at least the deny went IG's way that time.
Well, it was a good move if the tower would have been taken down by Yamato faster. I guess he could have just leaped over the creeps and started hitting it earlier to not risk the deny, but it's still fine. They were making time for the Queen of Pain to get stronger and stronger, because this Queen of Pain, as you know it, it's gonna get level 16 soon, and a level 16 Queen of Pain is much more stronger. This hero is so level dependent, it's not even funny. Because most of the time when Queen of Pains are not that strong, it's because you don't get to the late game. You don't get to the late game with this hero, but he's actually a strong, very strong late game. Because all you need is some more stats, some more HP, because she's a 900 HP frag, kinda. But if you make her get to the point where she's 2k HP and deals a lot of damage, let's see Ice, what are you doing? Nothing. He's playing. He's just playing like Ice, man. No need to say anything.
Basically playing chicken with a Magnus and a Bad Rider. That Bad has been struggling quite a bit. Nowhere even remotely, unless it's on a courier, but as of right now, nowhere near a Blink Dagger. Omni Slash going to be wasted there by Ice, all of the jumps going on the creeps.
It was creeps killed.
Hey, he got some gold, all right? And yeah, that's a lot of damage being done. They may want to re-engage. Disruption going to buy them some time. YYF is there looking for a target. Bane will end up being picked off here, but Faith eating a lot of damage in the meantime. So they get one return kill, a lot of damage done, and actually they end up going 1 for 1. Now they're going to find Ice, though. And Yamate is there. Fade Bolt, laser enough to clean up one more kill. That courier has been playing, living on the edge, man. And now the root on the Queen of Pain, but it doesn't really matter, as they're just not going to pursue it out. But that courier 3 or 4 times now has been right in the thick of things and has managed to keep itself alive. They do get 2 kills. And we'll see what they want to do now. Doesn't even look like they're that interested in trying to take a tower. Zenith still has every single tower still standing, and Yamate gonna show himself, blinks in, there's the RP!
Oh, wow.
Pulled the trigger, and yeah, what did you think was gonna happen? What was the plan?
I don't know.
I mean, that's just one of those things like, oh, so you're gonna blink into a Magnus who didn't spend RP. Okay, here we go, re-engaging Miracle looking for revenge. And likely to find it. There's the Infest to secure the kill. Yamate fresh back off a buyback wants to kill as well. Ice going to be telekinesis. Chuan and Zoe making a run for it. Faith is there burning down the trees, and it looks like that's all they're going to get, at least for now. 13-9. They do end up getting the return kill on the Magnus, but getting the Queen of Pain, pretty big deal. But I mean, you look at the golden experience graph, and that basically barely registers. And now with Mag down and RP down, they're going to have a chance to take this tier 2 mid.
I don't think they necessarily want to kill the middle because the Juggernaut's top, but, you know, they'll just poke it down with the Queen of Pain and Nakes. There's no... Well, you see the Sanjin Yasha and Nakes, he still needs movement speed, and yes, it's true. It's one of those heroes that needs movement speed, and if he can catch the Bat Rider, if he can catch the Rubik, it's very good. I think this rage on Chuan is what made Yamato think that he can go and kill him really fast, but as long as the Magnetar is right in front of him, I don't think that was a good idea at all. But, you know, Rage is a super good spell on the Rubik, and you can't really kill him, only with DPS. Well, that's the point of Magic Community, right?
Exactly. Taking a look at Ice Ice Ice. He's picked himself up a set of drums, a Yasha, and phase boots. Dude is hustling. He is moving pretty quick. And IG realizing 21 minutes in, this game may get away from them if they don't do something soon. They're going to look for a kill. Oh, wow, they had a chance to just flat out kill Ice there. Now we're going to have Yamate telekinesis right into a skewer. Now the re-engagement. There's a lasso dragging him on back. Here comes Ice Ice Ice. That Omni Slash plus the Sonic Wave cleans up the Magnus. Fate's now in trouble as well. He looks like he's going to drop, and he does. Freedom going to spin Fiend's Grip on Zoe in the meantime. He's burning to death in the midst of the Firefly. And Zoe will be able to TP away. Now G-1 next on the target list. He's cleaned up. Triple kill for Ice Ice Ice. Buyback is there from Tinker. And Ferrari forcing them out at least momentarily. 3 for 3. At the very least, IG is breaking even at this point. But beautiful synergy, by the way, from the Queen of Pain and the Juggernaut to bring down Magnus before he could contribute much. Really well played out of G-1 and YYF as well. They telekinesis the Queen of Pain beautifully into the skewer.
Yes, it was a nice play, and I think Ferrari and YYF understand this. This death on the Magnetar made them lose the fight, because Tinker died, he bought back. But they understand this now, and what can be the only thing that they can do against it is if the Tinker gets Force Staff. Of course, the supports can get Force Staff, but that's going to be really hard for them to farm up.
Yep.
And instantly, when the Magnetar died, he just buys up a Staff of Wizardry. He's not even going for some Hex really fast. And he has Blink. He's not going to die of anything.
Right.
But they need the Force Staff. If they can get the Magnetar away, I think Zenith's only chance to not lose the fight is to just run back a little bit and wait for another, opportunity to go.
Worth mentioning, the YYF still is sans his Blink Dagger. He's going to have it soon if he can buy enough time, and yeah, we can see him taking a bit of farm priority now. He's just about 100, 200 gold away, give or take. Zoe, in the meantime, he's a little anemic as well. The net worth tells the story. He's right in the middle of the pack at 7,200. He's almost doubled up by the Lifestealer right now. Juggernaut at 8,000. Queen of Pain's actually not quite as high as I would have assumed she is, but she's right on par with the Tinker. But the Lifestealer, certainly the big man on campus, adds a Skull Basher to his inventory now. And yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, man, the Lasso and RP becoming ultra important to lock down the Queen of Pain, to lock down the Nakes, to make sure that he is not able to just stick on a target and blow them up. And they have to get Zoe some items.
Well, Zoe right now is not going to transition into some kind of a killer hero with some new items. Right now, he's feeling fine. As this timing right now on the Maelstrom, he did a lot of damage and he killed a lot of heroes. The only problem for IG is to not get into a position where they lose map control and they have to fight against the Queen of Pain jump. Let's see what bottom happening.
Bottom, we got Yamate.
We're going on Fate instead. But Fate gets away.
No. Oh, Omni Slash and Ice Ice Ice. The skewer knocks him out of the TP, and the RP's actually spent there. And yeah, he just Blade Furies and says that's fine.
Skull Basher. He can't teleport. He used teleport.
Zoe bashed yet again. The attack speed of Miracle showing itself. Chuan gets there a little too late. Yeah, Chuan realizes it. Steps into the trees. Chuan got there. Oop! There's one of those moments where you go, nope, nope, the hell out of there. No problem.
And the Queen of Pain did end up killing the Tinker at bottom, and he finds a regen room now. He was 300, 200 HP. And 3 kills happening on the map on very important heroes.
And all separately, too, is the amazing thing. All three kind of happened independently. We're going to see Ice 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 and Freedom just go for Roche. And yeah, I mean, at this point, the healing ward's there if they want it. And yep, there it goes. He's getting ready to drop it if he can stop getting bashed. So should be able to take this. And Zenith, who got run over top of in Game 1, again, playing like a brand new team here in Game 2. And I think this comes back around to the draft, Puppy. You and I both, when we looked at the lineup that IG had drafted for themselves, they had some very strong heroes, but I think we both were kind of scratching our head at how the laning phase was going to go. And having lost top lane so viciously and freeing the rest of the map up for Zenith, I think we're beginning to see the pay for that. We're beginning to see the result of that in the fact that Zenith is just slowly grinding IG out. I mean, we could look, 10,000 gold now the advantage, just about 10,000 experience, and we're only 26 minutes into this game.
Well, let's see what's happening to Ferrari right now. Come on. No, definitely not a kill. Anyway, like I said, oh wow, Icy 6, come on. Don't you die there. Can't even talk normally. What I mean is, the Tinker pickup means that they will have super passive lanes. But they didn't necessarily have to have super passive lanes. They still have the good heroes. But they ended up having a Woods Batrider. They could have had a weird tri-lane with Batrider, Magnetar, Rubik. I don't think it will work out, but it will be better. Because you will actually maybe win some lanes. You can have Magnetar solo, Tinker solo, or yeah, you can have Tinker and Lone Droid solo. They're both really good solos. They really don't depend much on anything. They can handle, they can get their levels, and it's going to get to that point where they're just going to have, you know, level 7 laser or level 4 March, or no, level 7 laser. Level 7 on Tinker with the level 4 March, or the Lone Droid gets level 5 and then level 6 and gets his ultimate. He's not going to feel that much pressure on him. But instead, they went on doing the double lane top, which made Juggernaut just stay middle, and the supports were roaming free. Bottom lane is Queen of Pain against Magnetar. I see no way of the Magnetar winning, and you know these two movements already mean that there's no rune control. Queen of Pain is going to get every rune at bottom, and Juggernaut is probably going to get every rune top because Bane Elemental can just roam freely, which did happen. He went middle. He ganked top. They saw Fate a lot of times in the woods, and you know they were roaming free. They were playing Dota. They were having their own game, while IG this time is just only trying to counter something.
Ice with a Manta style now. Beginning to look pretty scary himself. I mean, like you said, Tinker's actually going to get a return kill. Now they're going to engage on Ferrari. Miracle going to be dropped in exchange. That's a monster kill for Miracle, who is just basically terrifying at this point. The guy's inventory is filling up extremely quickly. S and Y. And he honestly is going to be able to afford an Abyssal real soon if he wants it.
Zenith's only real thing right now is to buy a gem. Because every time which I've seen IG play, even if they're losing, the wards are standing.
Yep.
They are. And they see vision, they see the Ice checking the rune, they see everything. They see every one of those important things. Let's see what's happening middle.
And Miracle going to be telekinesed. Brought back in, no follow-up though. YYF is there, finally has that blink dagger he's been looking for forever. And RP though, still on cooldown. Going to be another 60 seconds before it's available. For Zenith though, everything ready to roll. Feeble on the bear, and we saw the other day just how crippling a spell Enfeeble is on a gyrocopter, for example. Works the exact same way on a Lone Druid, just really takes that bear out of the fight in a big way. And now they're just going to rush the tier 3 telekinesis on Ice. That's going to be able to bring Miracle back as well with the Flame Break. And not going to pursue out. I was really thinking we were going to see YYF go for an RP when they turn their backs.
He doesn't have it. Cooldown.
That's right. I just said that. Still 30 seconds on the cooldown. For whatever reason, I had it in my head that it was going to be 30 seconds, not 60. But yeah, 28 minutes.
I think he used it on the Shadow Demon where the Tinker died. I'm not really sure. I didn't really see it, but yep. it was the only kill that happened. Look at this Ferrari. Sneaky.
Takes one step to the side. Good to go, Yamate. Pursuing him out. Miracle is fairly low health as well, but again, will be able to have his Abyssal up very, very soon.
And they can't really fight the tier 3 tower. There's no way they can assault it. But since their lineup is so gank oriented, I don't think they have a problem with it. Even though IG is gonna be finding farm because there's an Armlet and Maelstrom already on the Lone Droid, and it's gonna keep on coming. It's gonna keep on coming. He's gonna have a Hyperstone very fast. And Tinker's finding... He bought a Dagon. Okay.
Feeling like damage is the problem,
you know, yeah, I guess the Force Staff is not needed anymore since the Blink Dagger and YYF. I think, you know, there is a chance of transitioning when you see that everything's going fine for the Magnetar. You don't really need to get it anymore. You understand that, yes, I'm going to go for the build. Because, you know, Dagon on Tinker is crazy stuff. Let's see this gank top.
There's the skewer following the
wow,
RP.
Chuan.
Oh, Chuan! Barely able to make it away. And now we're going to have the counter engagement. Miracle just bought his Abyssal and is hitting very hard. Shockwave doesn't do anything when Rage is active, and Zoe just going to get blown up. That is a godlike Miracle, playing the stand-in role pretty adequately, I would say.
I was just wondering why. Because I was saying Chuan not because he was getting killed. I think he was fine because he had Rage. the thing is that he didn't pull him up after the RP and into the skewer, because I think Ice could have just ran forward and, you know, baited some time out, but, you know, whatever happened happens for a reason, because if he would have kept running up, I think the lone droid would have gotten up also, and they would not have killed the lone droid after the Ice death, so, you know.
And here we go. Nyx's bomb comes out, Queen of Pain engaging in. They're going to be able to clean up Faith. There's the Omni Slash getting the kill on Magnus. Magnus, once again, a non-factor. And I think that's really been the story of this game.
Oh, wow, Omni Slash Rubik.
And Ferrari, yep, there we go. Rubik going berserk. G-1 says, no, sir. I will do some damage before I'm blown up once again. 26-14. And looking like the end of this game. A lot of buybacks come out. They do manage to get the Aegis off of Queen of Pain. But Yamate doesn't really care. Tier 3 is going to end up dropping here. They forced so many buybacks that IG really could not afford. And they will be forced out at least for the moment. So IG not about to go out quietly. Queen of Pain has completed her own Scythe of Ice, so you had one more way to lock down a Tinker or a Lone Druid if they really want to. But back to what I was saying about poor Magnus. This has just not been a good game for YYF. And I mean, you can... You know, some have been lapses in judgment and mechanical mistakes, but mostly it's just been good play from Zenith. They have just not allowed him to be a real contributing factor the way you want a Magnus to be when it comes to reverse polarities, keeping yourself alive. And they do end up getting a tier 1, so finally, that's the first tower all game, by the way, that IG has been able to take, and we are 32 minutes in.
Well, they can kill the towers really fast, and they've always tried. IG has always tried something like this. The RP and the Juggernaut and the, you know, try to kill the Juggernaut and then just transition into a push. They've kept trying it all the time, but they end up wasting so much time trying to kill one hero that eventually all the other heroes are just going to come up.
Ice, and Miracle both looking really scary. I mean, Miracle, again, that Abyssal has been up for a few minutes now. I'm in WP, a.k.a. Yamata. How is it pronounced, by the way? So I've always called him Yamate.
Yamate.
Yamate? Okay, I'll try to get it right. Yamate. Better known as Yamate.
Yeah, he was better known as Yamate. You know what Yamate means?
What's that?
It's something... Wait, let's see this. Zhao Killtop. No, he doesn't want to go for him. He just wants to see the woods.
Here we go. Now...
Tower dead, but he also.
And Nyx engages on Zhou. Few swipes, peace out, see you at the base. Ice there to celebrate with the completely unnecessary, 100% not needed Blade Fury, because hey, why not, right?
Well, did you see how scared this Queen of Pain was? He was like, holy shit, they might be here. And he just started running away. He didn't even do a single hit with his double damage, just sent the Hex in. But yeah, it is something that the Japanese girls scream in porn in Japan.
Really?
Yes. That's what I heard from everybody.
How in the middle of sex do you manage to get that many syllables out? Like, how do you manage to get... Yeah, I can't even imagine that.
Japan, man. Don't ask.
We are talking about the home of tentacles.
Too many tentacles, too many words, you know, whatever.
Just the right amount of tentacles, if you ask most native Japanese. Miracle going to be telekinesis back. We'll be able to lasso him. Now let's see if they can get something going. There you go! YYF finally hits an RP, but nightmared immediately afterwards. And Miracle back up and swinging hard. Omni Slash is there to help clean them up and force them back towards the Ancient. Damage being done on both sides. Sonic Wave, well placed from Yamate. Zoe going to be cleaned up next. That's 2 down, G-1 and the Lone Druid both. And finally, the RP, the poor YYF wanted all game comes out. But it's a day late and $1 short. GG's. Tapped by IG. We're going to a game 3 here, puppy. Zenith, who looked, to be honest, disjointed in game 1. Put it together in a big way, using the no-ban gimmick in the draft and making it happen. Extending their hopes for the live LAN finals.
Well, IG got into a trap, which they actually got into a trap with me also one day in the international. The trap is not really a trap, but you just end up giving them heroes that they enjoy so much. They got Magnus, they got Batrider, they got Lone Druid, they got Juan's favorite Rubik, and they're like, there's Tinker in the pool too,
right.
And they just pick up the Tinker. But their lineup sucks so much because of the Tinker pick. If they would have had any other pick, like some second support, they really needed a second support. There is no way that they will have, you know, clear lanes if it's not going to be a second support. They could have just picked up a Coddle, or no, Coddle would not be good. If they would pick up a Sand King, trust me, it would have been a different game.
35 minutes, 11 seconds, the official game time. 30-14, the final score. Zenith rolls, making it look easy, even when they're understaffed. And that's it. I said it before this game started. I thought Miracle played a great game in Game 1, and I feel like Miracle played an excellent game, and the stats seem to bear that out. 11-0-8. 703 XP a minute, 564 in terms of GPM, tops on the board, and doing a great job helping Zenith out. I'm AC, joined by Poppy. You're here on One More Game TV 2. We got game number 3, the rubber game, on the way of this best of 3. Winner goes to LAN. See you in just a few minutes.